And with all that makeup you have to have on, etc., were you at first worried expressing yourself acting wise, like facially, and your eyes are so expressive, which is great.
Yeah.
Did that worry you? Did you have to work on?
Yeah, at first I felt like it was going to feel like I just had a lot of Botox in my forehead. But it was incredible how much I could move under that prosthetic. And it didn't take long before it just kind of became Irisa. And I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed kind of morphing into somebody else completely, physically, emotionally, yeah, and with the accent and the alien language as well. It kind of really produced something else, and that was exciting.
Now, Irisa's storyline this season is pretty heavy. Are we going to see that change the core of who she is, or?
Yeah, I mean, I think you can't really go through something like that without it kind of really changing you. And I think some of the stuff that we'll sort of see as the season progresses, it just gets harder and harder for her. And I think it really just can only end in one place for her, really, and it's just more kind of darkness. But hopefully they'll be singing Johnny Cash again soon. That's what I'm hoping for. That's my aim. Season 3. So yeah, she's gone on quite a journey.
When she came back and kind of lost a little love there that she thought she still had,
Yes.
maybe waiting for her. How did that affect her? Might there be another future?
I love the relationship at the moment between the three of us, me, Berlin, and Tommy. I think Irisa deserves it, if I'm honest. I shouldn't be saying that, but she expects everything to be there and expects everyone to be there for her no matter what, and I think it's been quite a learning curve to realise that actually they're not always there, but at the same time, bless her, she's not kind of going on a journey on her own accord. That little girl in the back of the car keeps talking to her, telling her what to do, and she's just responding. So yeah, I think people are going to be quite surprised at how gritty things get for us. Yeah, things get messy.
Is there a moment coming up for the rest of the season that you really can't wait for the fans to see?
There is actually a scene in episode 11 which sticks out in my mind because it was one of kind of the most intense scenes between Nolan and Irisa, and we didn't get many of those scenes through the season, and so everything kind of built to that moment, and it kind of broke my heart doing it, and his too. It kind of took us days to get over it, but it was a scene that it was necessary for those two, and I felt like it really needed. And you kind of see some of that old Irisa, but kind of also see this troubled Irisa that cannot figure out what's going on. And it's always lovely playing with Grant. We really missed that this season because Irisa has just been so isolated.
He said at the panel that you guys didn't have lunch that day.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We didn't have lunch for a few days after that. It was kind of I don't think we could even look each other in the eye for most of the season because Irisa really just kind of crushed everything that they had built together, but he's trying to stick by her as much as he can.
So, what is a new character that you've been able to have some screen time with in the past you haven't that will be coming up in the latter half of the season?
I think Irisa has some time with Berlin, which is very new for her, kind of this other female presence in her life that really kind of shakes her world a bit, especially with the dynamic between her and Tommy. And so that's really interesting to play also, because it's something that you wouldn't necessarily expect with Irisa. So yeah, and by the end of the season, she has to start interacting with quite a lot of people. So you really do get a sense of things changing.
What's been the biggest change for you from last season to this season, either from an approach as an actor or just in your mindset going into your show?
I think things took a real turn for Irisa in a way that even I didn't kind of expect. And going on to this journey so isolated was really kind of hard for me as an actress as well, because suddenly I didn't have all my friends around me. I was suddenly on set on my own with the green screen, and yeah, that got tricky, and it got kind of lonely, and so she dragged me down with her. So yeah, it's funny how a character can do that, can really change your world on a set as well. Yeah, so I'm rooting for Johnny Cash season 3. So yeah, fingers crossed.
Now, have you been a Syfy fan, or was this kind of your first foray into it? As far as, have you always been a fan of it?
Yeah, and without kind of even knowing really, I think I've sort of, like most kids, you grow up with it, and you kind of want to be in that world desperately, and so it's a dream to kind of suddenly be allowed to do that and be allowed to play, and I've always kind of, and more really loved the kind of fantasy and sci-fi genres. I love the way you get to kind of just be very creative and liberal, and kind of there's no boundaries, and I think that's what I really like, is that you can take it anywhere.
Speaking of no boundaries, now that season 1 is under your belt, you've got season 2 coming. The fans can be rabid.
Yeah.
Has it taken some time to acclimate to that type of fervor that Defiance has caused with fans?
It's amazing. We've been, I didn't realise quite how sci-fi fans are like no other. They really are. I don't think I would ever expect or understand it until you're actually in that world, and it's quite unique and amazing, because the passion that they hold for shows is what keeps us going, is what kind of holds the shows up, and I really believe that is what keeps these shows going, and like today, it was amazing, the turnout for the panel, and it was what helps us, and the feedback that you get really does influence what goes on in the show, and so it's important that people keep voicing what they like and don't like, because it really does influence the guys at the top. So, but yeah, I've never seen anything like it. I'd never come to Comic-Con before Defiance, and I'm sort of sad that the passion that people hold for things is incredible, and I think it's amazing. Yeah, and it's like one big playground. It really is. I can't imagine San Diego without Comic-Con now.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Now that you've said that, have you seen something at Comic-Con that just really caught your eye?
They're very cool.
Thank you. But has there been something where you went, oh my god, I need this now, like a panel that you had to see, or exhibition floor, booth?
Well, there was a Grant Morrison panel today, but it clashed with ours, so I was a bit gutted I didn't get to go to that. I did a panel with Dave McKean yesterday, which was really nice. It was nice just to do something different, and also just kind of experience the convention centre, walk around and kind of, just experience it as a fan myself. There's so many shows out there that I need to catch up on, and so yeah, I think it's amazing that something like this has been created, and more people should come out and experience it, definitely. Thank you. My sugar to keep me going. Just a hint of vodka.
Yeah, just a hint. What's wrong with you? You're a professional.
Cool. I have, yeah. Not so much recently because I was terrible at it. But I love the fact that the video games went alongside. Like Kevin said earlier, it comes with its trials and tribulations along the way, but that's to be kind of expected with something new. And I love the fact that we're breaking boundaries with it and really experimenting.
Between Defiance and Mirror Mask, you've got a lot of genre fans. What are you a fan of?
I'm a huge fan of fantasy. I really am. I think Dave McKean triggered something in me that I wasn't maybe as aware of before working with him. His work is something I admire hugely, and it really opened up again the world that you can kind of really cross the boundaries seamlessly between fantasy and reality, and really and sci-fi does that. Sci-fi, that Defiance does it, and it's exciting for me and creative as an actress to be able to kind of go out there and not have a boundary, and it's liberating, and you can tell a story in so many different ways, and I think that's kind of, I love it, and I kind of hope to do more of it.
So being at Comic-Con, if you were just coming as a fan, who would you dress up as?
Oh, that's a good one. Do you know, I've seen some really good Batman costumes. I'm tempted. I'm really tempted. I'd be kind of a scrawny Batman, but maybe I could do a Batman / Irisa kind of vibe. But there's been some incredible costumes. There was a Dark Crystal costume last year that blew my mind. I mean, I'm such a huge fan of Dark Crystal that I think maybe something from that. Yeah, Dark Crystal. That's my choice. Yeah. I just remember being sat in front of that. I don't think my mum ever realised how dark it was, and we were like toddlers. And she'd be like, watch this, because it was on for hours, and we'd just sit there watching it over and over again, and it was kind of, it blew my mind. And I don't think we're going to get anything like that again, because it was so, with all the kind of real life puppets and things, that like you can't, everything's CGI now.
On that note, you said that because it's Henson, and Henson is amazing. Labyrinth, did you ever do anything with Labyrinth?
Yes, yeah, Labyrinth's another one, definitely. I think maybe, something maybe created in Neil Gaiman's world, or something cool.
He's got American Gods coming up.
Yeah, he's got some exciting stuff coming out, so yeah, exactly. You know,
Being that you work with Julie Benz, are you a Buffy fan or an Angel fan at all?
I am, you know, and it's so cool working with her, it really is. And also Dexter, you know, I watched Dexter and loved her in that. And Dexter was such a great series. And yeah, so who wouldn't want to work with her? And she's great. She's really professional on set, actually. There's a lot to be said about Julie. You know, she always turns up on time. She always knows her lines. You know, she's done a lot of work, but she's always there, kind of. Yeah, we've got a lot to kind of live up to with her. So yeah.
Now you mentioned Grant Morrison before. What about Grant Morrison's work? Are you have anything that stands out to you that you're a fan of?
You know, I got into him through a lot of friends of mine and a lot of family. But I got to speak to Grant a couple of years ago, and we were talking about just kind of all sorts, like the world ending. And he's such an interesting guy. He really is. And I think that somebody that has that kind of imagination and can put it into their work is just extraordinary. And being at places like this really opens up the world. I really, you know, I love things like also like Death Note, which is another favourite of mine. And so I just, my mind is just kind of, you can see I'm just kind of geeking out. I love being here. I'm trying to keep it under wraps. But yeah. Yeah, okay, cool. All right. I'll relax.
That's what this whole thing's built for.
Yeah, definitely. And I didn't really, I wasn't kind of aware of it until Defiance. There were things that I started to like. I've got some very cool friends around me that introduced me to lots of cool stuff. So being here really has just opened the world to me. And I think it will do that more and more, definitely.
Very cool.
Back to the show a little bit.
Oh, damn, really?
Irisa is such a physical character. How much of that is you, and how much is the stunt person?
She exhausts me, that girl. You know, I love the physical stuff, I really do. In fact, it's been quite a challenge because it's like I've never done anything like that. But the stunt team are amazing. I mean, really amazing. They let me do. I fight to do everything, and she'll let me do 90% of it. I have a great stunt double, Shara. I have to give a shout out to Shara because she's incredible, and she really does let me kind of get on with stuff. She'll stand back, and even if I'm not that great, she'll let me do it. And yeah, lots and lots of training. You know, I did some martial arts while I was out there, some knife throwing, even though I had to start off with a tennis ball, which I was most disappointed about. but yeah, they're incredible and really trust us as well. You know, they especially big fight scenes. We rehearse those as much in advance as we can. And then get to play around on the day, and they just kind of make it as safe as possible. And even though I've almost had a few people's eyes out, but we won't go there. They're still intact. But yeah, a couple of times I've thrown a knife and literally thrown it like Steph, not Irisa. And yeah, so but it's been they're brilliant, and yeah, this season I don't think you've seen it yet, but I'm hanging upside down at one stage. So yeah, climbing up things, jumping off things, everything you didn't get to do as a kid because you were told off about doing, I get to do. So yeah.
Are we going to see more of those fight scenes coming up for the rest of the season?
Irisa gets herself into quite a few situations, yeah, definitely, and it's been great playing that side of things. She's exhausted every side, emotionally, physically, like she is, she's quite a firecracker, that one. Yeah. But yeah, it's a dream, it really is to play. Yeah.
Go for it.
Cool.
Let's
so quick.
I'm a few episodes behind, so
okay.
the last one I saw was you were actually singing Johnny Cash. So
Okay. Yeah, everything gets a little darker from there. Yeah. They tried. They did try. Yeah.
That's it.
Okay.